Hi, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna finish the rest of the gnome story. So the story goes that this story is about a gnome, and long story short, the gnome was dressed as a one of those water things for when there's a fire and you open it up and you like that. And this runner had a wrench, and then he thought that the gnome was one of those fire hydrants, and he turned it over, and the gnome didn't want to make it awkward, so it had a bottle of water on him, and he did like this, right? And yeah, so that's what happened. And long story short, like the gnome gets picked up by his friends in a helicopter. Yeah, and then next episode there's some kind of legal case. Or no, I think the gnome is going out for the guy, like trying to like make a hit on the guy or something. And now we're gonna go to part three. Part three. So the gnome drops his sister off at the third annual firefighters dance it's like in a small town nearby, because their town is a little bit too small to even have one. In fact, they don't even have fire station. They have like half a fire station. So anytime there's a fire, they have to find another small town to get half the fire truck, so that together they'll have one fire truck, and then they can finally actually fight a fire. Same thing goes with the axes that they have. They have like half of an axe. So if they need an axe, they have to take the wood thing and they have to put it in the middle. But that's beside the point. So the gnome brought his sister to that place, and the gnome was like, "I don't know your date, who your date is, but I trust your judgment." Little did he know that the date was the guy who ran past him with the water. You may be wondering, okay, so what's the problem? Why does this gnome have a beef with this guy? So long story short, so he takes his daughter out on a date, and they go to Dunkin' Donuts. The gnome spent 5 years of his life building up a Krispy Kreme, and he made his sister promise, "You're never ever gonna eat at Dunkin' Donuts in your entire life." And she's like, "I promise you." When she saw that his sister changed her mind all of a sudden with this guy, she's like, "This guy is a bad influence. I'm gonna stay away from her." Yeah, and in the end, there was like a legal case and a legal battle between the gnome and the guy. They were trying to make some kind of settlement, so they were gonna make it so that the girl could have 50% of the guy's things, and then every month the guy would have to pay her like $400 a month for the kids. The problem was that, one, they never even married, two, they never even went past the first date, and three, they didn't even have kids. So it was just really, really weird, and like, one of those really tricky legal situations. Like, so, you know, the lawyers were battling on and off. And the weird part is that the gnome's lawyer was actually dating the guy's lawyer. And in the process, those two lawyers, they divorced each other. So now we have two legal battles, like a really, really hard legal battle. But not only that, the two lawyers actually had two clients who were like who owned their building, and those two clients were in a divorce too, so they had to cut the building in half. They're like, "Oh my God, it was so incredibly complicated." I'm going besides the point here. Long story short, the guy, after the first date with the sister in the fireman's ball, he tries to impress her, and he's like trying to do all these tricks, and he's trying to just show that how cool he is, because he doesn't think that she thinks he's that cool. He thinks that she thinks that he's just like, just a regular guy, one of those ordinary guys, you know, just be nice and hang around this guy. But he wanted to like him, because he kind of likes her. I'll be honest, he kind of likes her. And that gnome sister, She's kind of good looking. That's weird. Anyway, so the guy wants to show how manly he is, and he takes out an axe, and all he has is a stick. And she's like, "What are you doing with the stick?" So then he tries to get one of the water hoses and show that he can squirt something from like miles away. he only has half a hose. The worst part of it was that when he was trying to walk her home, but he couldn't because there was only half a sidewalk. As he was attempting to walk her home in half a sidewalk, he saw some kind of short creature inside a dark alley. He turned his head. As he turned his head, he heard a noise. And he knew it wasn't the wind. And it was a weird noise. The girl yelled, "Ah! What the bleep?" He walked into the alley. To be continued.